Alrighty then. Hey guys, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of, well, it's not my Sunday night stream, and it's not Inktober, because I am doing a new project. So, at this point, I think Inktober might come to a abrupt halt at the meantime, because I have other important projects to do. One of which is doing a sculpt of a particular monster man. I won't give the full details as to why I'm doing this sculpture at the moment or under what umbrella it's underneath. I won't even show you the reference I'm using in order to keep it secret, since we're just right now starting this piece. So, hopefully, I'm coming across clearly uh, over on Instagram. And as per usual, I also have excuse me. I also have my Twitch and YouTube channel recording. So, where do we start off? Well, first things first, I have this mannequin head. It's a beauty head, just used to hold like wigs on it and whatnot. I got it for like $10. Some guy was like selling a bunch of stuff, and I got it for like $10. I went ahead and I took part of a pattern, like a skull paper craft skull pattern, just to give me the jawline, because I want this sculpture to have an open jaw. So from the side, let me move it for Instagram. For the side, it's just gonna have this open jaw. So that's why I have the jaw hanging downward. I just put some foam for the eyes, and we're just gonna right now just build up the head before we go heavy into detail. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get right into the sculpting. I have not sculpted something in a long time, so it's nice to kind of get back into it. Maybe I should tilt my camera a little bit. There we go. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop some clay on this. I'll be using plastilina clay. I have tons of this stuff left over from my college days, like a literal like just giant bin of plastilina. So we're gonna go ahead and just drop some of this clay into layers and just kind of build up the face. Plastilina is really good. It's water based. It is a little temperature sensitive. Like, put it into the fridge and it'll harden a bit more, but it won't like actually get too hard. Even in the sun, it'll kind of get droopy. But since I have so much of it, why not use it? I hope it adheres well to this. This is very smooth material. It's like the smooth plastic. So I don't know how well it's going to hold on, but we're just going to work on this as I punch my light. I'm just going to work on this. Where's my water? I grabbed a cup of water. Stand by. Water. I need water. There you go. A little cup of water, because this material is kind of water based. And we're just gonna go right into this and see if we could build this up. I've always wanted. What I need to buy. I'm using this little roly piece of wood. I really need to invest. Let me get a bigger one. There we go. That's better. There we go. I really need to invest in they're always in the store. It's pretty much like the equivalent of like the thing people use to like flatten pasta. They use it. They have one for clay, and I need to invest in one of those. I'm always like, it's so expensive, and I don't do clay that much. Why would I need it? I think I need to invest in one of those. So it's gonna build up some thin layers, really thin layers, just to, like I said, kind of flush out the shape. If you are on Twitter, if you are on YouTube or Instagram, at the moment I cannot see the chat. My secondary device decided it wanted to do that thing where it takes forever and a day to load. So we're going to let that load take its sweet time. But yeah, we're making a monster man. It is a man. Was a monster man. A creepy man. So this is my first time doing something like this, actually. Like, let alone have I not done clay in a while. This is my first time, like, trying to, sculpt out an entire face. And why is this lifting up? I need to remove that little piece of paper right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna have that cause me trouble. There you go. Have to do a little cut. That way it just... I did the pattern on some like hard cardstock to give it like a, kind of this cardboard pretty much. There we go. Yeah, so I've been on and off. If you saw my last stream, I was desperately trying to like catch up in Inktober, but I'm realizing if I'm gonna finish this particular project along with a few other ones, Inktober might need to take a backseat. No Inktober as of right now, but still doing creepy stuff. We're still making, as the title indicates, we're making a Monster Man. So it's still in the vein of the spookums. Dropping clay on the floor, getting covered in freaking hair. But the general idea is to sculpt this and hopefully turn it into a three-dimensional prop. Like we're basically sculpting heads and faces for a, as I said, kind of secretive project. I might as well just fill in the gap. Just gonna fill in this gap because I could put some duct tape on there as well. Whichever works. Most time, when they're sculpting heads, they might start from complete scratch. Like it'll just be like a ball of aluminum on a stick. But I don't have that much clay. I don't have that much room to like build up all that clay. So I'm just, using this mannequin head with some freaking duct taped jaw. You work with what you got, people. There we go. Hey, Quatorius. Good to see you. Yeah, like I said, my secondary device, for whatever reason, doesn't want to load, doesn't want to turn on, so I can't really see any chat from anyone who might be joining us via YouTube or Twitch. I was looking at and also, excuse me, I'm feeling congested once again. This season is not cooperating with me. When I was also looking up different molding material from Smooth On, because I use certain molding and casting material, but if I want to do like a nice cast of this, like a good mold and cast, I was thinking of their brush. There's a particular brush on mold you use for not, it's a non skin safe mold. It's you've probably seen it. It's kind of orange in color, and they use that for like sculpture. So I might use that to do a big mold of this. Not too sure. I'm still thinking of like how to approach the mold. There's different ways to approach it. Gonna go ahead and put some carve some grooves into this to hopefully help the clay stick better. Hey, Son of Bonds, good to see you. Just rolling the clay, rolling. Okay. Give me a second. Where did I put that tape? Ah, there it is. Get your ass nice and flat. Yeah, the jaw was popping up. It's popping up on both sides. Yeah, I don't want the understructure to just go pink and like send all the clay flying in all directions. Yeah, work a little bit on those cheekbones. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've done any kind of large sculpture. In fact, because I've been using particular materials when I do my small sculptures, I've been using more of an epoxy resin clay. Like 2-part clay that actually is meant to harden. I actually haven't used this kind of clay in a while at all. So I've done sculpture work, but not of this scale and not with this material in quite some time. Okay, I think I got my second device hooked up to my YouTube. Let me see if everything's coming across okay. Yep, that seems to work. Perfect. Let me just fill out all the areas. Get full coverage. I believe the clay that and Pretorius Rex over on Instagram can verify this. I believe the clay that is used a lot for like sculpting professionally is called, is it wet clay? Like WED wet clay. I believe that's the stuff that Pretorius Rex is always talking to me about. He's like, it's the best kind of clay, because that one I think is more chemical based. This is water based. That one though I believe is more like you use actual like thinners, and you can use like a heat gun and like melt it. I mean, it's a bit. I mean, if anything works out the hand a lot, it's the squeezing and like, putting all the pressure in there to freaking take the shape you want. I want to cover that chin. It's better from the side, like that side shot. Just screaming. In case you're wondering, no. For those of you who are not in the New York area, there's not a storm in the background. I do have some audio playing. The spooky Halloween audio of just like sounds of thunder and lightning and all that stuff. You gotta be careful because the chin's hollow. Like once again, it's like this a piece of cardboard. The rest of it is solid. So if I squeeze too much, it'll like collapse the chin. working in actual 3D, I have to remember to like keep turning it, not just hold it at one side because I'm right-handed, so I'm working like on one side. I have to keep turning it to make sure it's coming out as kind of even. Once again, I'm going to add some more on the sides just to fill it out. Using my trusty hand roller. I've had this freaking little piece of wood for years. I think it came with like an old... I believe this came with like an old Mickey Mouse Play-Doh toy that like I had in my house. My sister and I had it on our house for years and years and years. Came with little molds to make like little sandwich molds you squish together and you make Goofy and Mickey and Minnie and all those characters. So, as I said, I'm using plastilina clay. They usually sell them in literal like bricks, right? They sell this clay in bricks, and they they come in different hardnesses. So back in college, people either bought soft or medium, and then once college was over, everyone's like, "Oh, we're just gonna throw it out," right? So they were just throwing out all this clay, and I'm like, dude, this clay like was expensive, but like no one really wanted to hold on to it because it was just part of a class that we had to take as part of a larger curriculum. I was like, I'll take it. So I have like a suitcase of mixed hard and medium clay, but it was all free. I was just like, yo, pass it to me. I'll freaking put it on like a dolly and take it out of here. There's like bricks and bricks of clay. Waste not, want not. Which is a perfect way of saying, I'm cheap. But hey, look who's laughing now. Look who's laughing now. Yeah, I think maybe it's time I do bite the bullet and just invest in one of those like, it's like they charge like freaking, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks for like a literal like pasta. Like you put the clay in and you crank it, and when you crank it, it makes flat sheets based on what setting you give it. I'm like, I think I'm at the point where I'm gonna have to buy one of those. Why not? I'm an adult. I got expendable income. I could treat myself if I wanted to, damn it. It looks almost like a crash test dummy at this point. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to add enough clay where just like it reinforces itself. I don't have to worry about the plastic, about the tape holding. So, this clay is sulfur based. Now it doesn't mean it smells like sulfur. It doesn't smell like rotten eggs, but it definitely has a particular smell. It's kind of hard to describe, right? It's sulfur, but it's not rotten egg sulfur. Maybe some people out there know what I'm talking about, but it definitely has this smell. So like, you want to definitely wash your hands afterwards. It's clay. Even though it's water based, it's still clay. It doesn't dissolve in water. Water just kind of helps it along. It's like in the school we had a slop sink that would constantly clog because you would just get chunks of this clay in there. Trying to make a long noodle, and then I'm going to flatten it out and just use it to like make the rim of the chin. So since I have so much junk on my normal work table, we're working on my art table, my drawing table. But my work table, which is off to the left, has so much freaking junk on it. From like half-finished projects of like 4 other ideas. Because I start a project, and then sometimes I have to reassess whether or not that project is needed at the moment. So right now, every project at the moment is taking a back burner. It's just put in the back burner because I don't need it all now. I'd rather focus on this. Here's a project that I'm working on, and a project, not this of course, but within the same, how do I put this? This project is part of a larger project, which has in itself several projects. I'm doing this, and our good friend Katorius Rex over on Instagram is working on another part of the project as well. I don't know if he'll be showcasing it. Might be easier for him just to go straight into just working on it without a video. But since I already had all the equipment set up for Inktober, I was like, whoa, now's the best time to just freaking, just record it. Trying to flatten this one piece out and it doesn't want to give. There we go. Can I adjust the lighting on this? Is that better? Is that better for some people? Maybe it's too bright. It's a bit too bright for me, actually. I'm gonna have to turn it over so I could properly do this chin from underneath. Sorry if it's not on camera, guys. Just need to get this chin, the under part of the chin, clayed up. I'm essentially just trying to, I'm showing it for the Instagram, guys. Over on Instagram, I'm just trying to like really seal up the hollowness of the chin. Okay, I really just put some strips of duct tape around the paper craft, but I didn't actually fill it. So I'm just pushing against it and it's coming off. Speaking of which, even though it's super duct taped on, that basic paper is like trying to fold out when it's trying to come off. Like I said, hopefully with more and more material, it'll like do a better job of staying on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to put a big old chunk of clay in there to really gum up that chin. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
Yeah, I should do it. Riveting off-camera action.
Right, so you can kind of see what I'm doing now. Just putting chunks of it.
Just slamming it inside the hollowness of that chin.
Nice. Okay. Good. So like, yeah, turning it sideways for the guys on Instagram. So that looks good so far. Just to give us a general like open jaw. Like I want that heavy jaw. I want it to be open. That way, when we do the mold of this, it's pretty much gonna be like a puppet. When we mold and do a casting, it'll really be open. So you just kind of open and close the mouth. A little ambitious, but it's something that like ambitious for me. I just haven't done this kind of stuff in a while. But it's something that people have been doing for people have done this before, and I'm like, I need to step up my special effects game. If you had asked little Dante, what he wants to be when he grows up, the answer was always, I want to do special effects. What did that mean? I didn't know. And then over a while, over time, you start trying new things. You become a jack of all trade, master of none. But you still, okay. So the full expression is jack of all trade, master of none is still better than a master of one. I believe it's something along those lines. But still, you still want to be able to not just do a little bit of everything, but be good at everything. Not perfect, just good. And I feel like doing like a full-on scope like this to turn into like a prosthetic of some type, that is something that I should have like really worked on more in my youth. Radman197, thank you for joining us over on Instagram. So the clay I'm using right now is from this one Tupperware, which is just clay I've reused over and over and over again for projects. So this is actually the nasty clay. This is the clay that has like dust in it and everything. All the clay that I talked about earlier that I put into a big bin is still in a bin in my closet. The big round eyes, these are just styrofoam, by the way. I bought like a pack of little styrofoam balls from like the art and craft store. They come in handy for a bunch of stuff. Mostly the round eyes kind of reminds me of if any of you have ever seen the movie They Live. Roddy Piper.
maybe give him, yeah, give him like a heavy brow, like that. I'm telling myself, don't go too crazy. You're not trying to get into the details at the moment. You're just trying to lay the clay on. But, you know, I could still do a few things. Now looks better. Now that we're building it outward, it looks a lot better. I'm gonna exaggerate that, like I kind of bump in the cranial area. You know, we had the curve here for the cheekbones. I want to do a curve here. Because in the end, this character's going to have a bit of a, I want to make a gaunt, like a thin face. So, a little bit of bone detailing. And yes, I should, when I get a chance, I'm going to get a reference for some skulls. So, it's like how a skull looks. I should be doing it now, but I'm just trying to get as much clay on this as possible first. I think we can always scrape some of it off. If you came here looking for perfect anatomy, you came to the wrong place. This is me relearning stuff I haven't done in years and years. Okay, I want to extend some clay to, you know, basically bridge the gap onto the plastic. Don't know if I'm gonna sculpt ears. Don't know if I'm gonna use. I might have some fake ears I could just like attach to this. If we can Mr. Potato Head the crap out of this thing. We'll see. So the idea is once I do a mold, and we could probably cast it maybe in like a latex of some type. I'm gonna cut this all out, and then we're gonna put some fake teeth in there. Okay, let me flatten out some pieces just to like combine this into the skull. The whole back of it doesn't really matter. I don't need to do too many details in the back. But the neck will probably need some detailing. I just want to extend this far enough where like we could put a wig on it. So like the seams don't really matter. Nice and thin. So as I probably mentioned in my stream on Sunday, the stream I did on Sunday, um, the first movie for the season 3 of Our House premiered, and it is just like consuming, like, apparently it was like trending like crazy on YouTube, and like Dana Terrace, the woman, not the one, it wasn't like she did it all by herself, but the creator of the show, the actual like woman behind the show, was like, holy crap, it's trending on YouTube. And people are like, of course, it's because like Disney decided to kneecap a show that had quality behind it. Doesn't mean the fans don't want to see it. And she was like super happy about it, which is nice. It's nice to see like a fellow artist, regardless of what level they're at in the industry, that can be like really high in the levels, like, you know, they have their own show, or just, you know, someone on freaking Instagram or Twitter or whatever, just generally being happy at people who enjoy their work. You know, it's a validation, and seeing artists be validated for their work, it is nice. You know, it's a nice feeling. We do care about each other. We are a good community. I mean, we're kind of crazy at times, but we are a good community. Want to really solidify that jawline. Like, just finish covering all the bottom area with clay. Ugh, that's garbage. Like I said, some of this clay is just like bits of clay I use for other sculptures. So there's some junk in this clay, like little bits of wax and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is the garbage clay. So I'm right now picking through a pile of small bits of clay, trying to find the ones that don't have junk in it. So fun fact, if you are doing molding with, let's say, Smooth On, which is one of my favorite companies to use, Rioflex works fine with this type of clay. Rioflex will not react weird to sulfur-based clay. But Umu, which is also another brand that's really common on the shelves, which is like a blue, it's like a bluish purple. That stuff hates sulfur-based clay. I learned that the hard way when I did a sculpture and then tried to use Umu because that's all they had in the store. And lo and behold, like the Umu just didn't solidify. So it just like ruined the mold. It was like all slimy and everything. So I want to finish up. I want to get like the face. I want to get this done, some of this. Like I said, I want to get the neck in there. Do. Alright, so plastilina, needed eraser. Plastilina, needed eraser. Do not mix them up. You will have a bad day. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's get. Actually, I'm gonna change. I just want to get this. Kind of pissed me off. Right before I jumped in to the stream, I had everything set up. Like, good, I got the, everything's already at the work table. Might as well just record as I do it. And just as I was about to start, I was like, no, no, no. And I ran to the bathroom and I quickly, filed down my nails. Because it's just getting this clay. I like working with my hands a lot. Man, I have tools and stuff. I got different tools to use. But, getting this in your fingernails, it's annoying after a while. I was like, I need to quickly file down my nails because this is going to irk me the entire time I'm working on this. You can't see it, but I'm just constantly rolling sheets of this stuff to get it nice and thin, like that. I don't want to put too much on this. I just need enough to get some coverage. And that should be perfect, actually. Wow, look at that. Yeah, it's perfect. A little bit of tape showing. Almost perfect. Speaking of different materials affecting with this, the paint on, so there's a basic thing called Mold Builder, and I can't find that. I bought a jar of it, bought a brand new jar. I was going to use Mold Builder on this. But Mold Builder is more for smaller stuff. It's like an artsy crafty one. It's much smaller projects. But like I said, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just use something else from Smooth On, and it just occurs to me, I need to make sure that the product I have in mind, which is a paint-on rubber, doesn't react weird to this. Because that would suck if I did layers and layers and layers of paint to get what I'm aiming for, just to have the whole thing not actually solidify. So I have Windows 8 on my laptop because it cannot take Windows 10. Literally, this exact type of laptop, if you upload Windows 10, it crashes. The OBS just can't handle it. In fact, the guy from the store was like, we're going to redo your, we're going to fix your laptop. Dell was like, we're going to fix your laptop for free because this is something that lands on our end. And now I just got a message that says, this version of Windows is nearing end of support. I'm like, whatever, remind me later. Okay. I'm going to tilt it away from the camera guy's side, just to get underneath that chin. That chinny chin chin. There we go. Nice. Nice. Very nice. It's funny because I'm sure that's from Borat, but when I use it, I think of movie Tarzan. When he first meets Jane and he repeats her, it's very nice, and she thinks he's responding to her hair, and she's like, oh, I can't do anything with it in this humidity. This is an interesting scene. Like you just meet you meet a wild man. The first thing you think he's talking about is like your hair. Like no, he's speaking wild man. Doesn't care about your hair. He cares about other things, Jane. Other things. Very nice. So as it stands now, like this part of the lip is like kind of hanging down, which I kind of like. Kind of like the idea of him having like a lopsided lip. I'm gonna stick. The main thing is to stick as close to the reference as possible. Like, that's my biggest issue. As an artist, I'm always like, I like creating things from scratch. So when I have to like actually make something look like something, I'm like, oh, it sucks. I hate doing that. But it must be done. I'm thinking of using. I have a bunch of It's got it from like a stationery store or something. It's like a strip of adhesive little beads, like pearls, or rather half circles, half pearls. And the strip, you meant to take the entire strip, and it's like 4 by like 6. So you do like frames, like frames around pictures and frames like around like whatever. But I take them individually and I take them off of that and like to use them as rivets or as bumps. And I think for this, he's gonna have like a bunch of acne. I'm gonna like actually like use pre-made shapes, like the eyeballs. Like I've seen some people sculpt like, I don't know how they do it, how they sculpt like perfect geometric shapes, and then some people, they use pre-made shapes. So yeah, but the ones who do like the ones who sculpt like perfect squares and stuff, who like sculpt for like cars and like sculpt for like machinery, back in the day when they did like, I say back in the day, but mostly back in the day, when they did like all the stuff for Star Wars, everything was like sculpted by hand and a little bit of kit bash, but you still have to sculpt it by hand. It wasn't 3D printers back there making those kits for like airplanes and stuff. You had to like, someone sculpted those kits at one point. There we go. Yeah, that's our general shape. So we got our general shape. We got our nice, strong chin, this pointed chin. You have the reinforced neck. Like I said, there's some spots where the freaking duct tape is trying to raise off, despite how much I taped it down. Or rather, the paper craft. It was like, once again, like it was like a thick cardstock I used to attach this chin, but it works. Like the side, I like that screaming face. Gonna kind of end up, I think, with a bit of a, the way I sculpted, the way I did the chin, he might end up with a bit more of an underbite. I think he needs an overbite, to be honest. But to do that, I have to like really push that out and really push this in. But we'll trim back and we'll figure it out. We'll trim back what we can. I need more clay, so stand by, please. Raise the volume there, people know, but still raise the volume of our background. Be back in a minute. That's a block of clay. Well, actually, several blocks. On Instagram is tons of shadows, sorry. But it's like layers of it because originally we laid layers on top of a wooden board in class, and then we carved into it, kind of like a relief, if you would. We were doing like reliefs as if we were doing like fake structures on like the side of buildings, which is why everything's like all in square chunks. It's layers, like an ogre. It's all in layers. Just gotta separate them now. Come on. Good enough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to finally invest in one of those damn pasta makers. I actually do have. It's kind of like a syringe, like a tube syringe. I bought it mainly for the other clay I use, the epoxy clay. But it is meant to like you squeeze it through. It's like Play-Doh. You squeeze it through and it gives you like certain shapes. I have one of those, which is good for like if you need like lots of thin tubing. Rather than roll it out, just kind of squeeze it through. Now, there's a character that's gonna be ugly anyway, so it doesn't need to be like perfect. But I'm happy to say it's not too lopsided. At least from what I can tell right now, it's not looking lopsided, which is good. Alright. I'm going to have fun around the eyes. When I go to sculpt this character's going to have tons of scars. But the reference is that the reference image is a simple black and white image with like sunken eyes. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually like sculpt like lots and lots of wrinkles, like unnaturally curving wrinkles. I'm talking like Junji Ito circles around these eyes, which could then be colored to fit our needs. I want to also make sure in the final sculpt, I want to make sure I get that nice square nose that's in the reference. Well, not square, but he has like a distinct like flat nose. Fun fact, originally, this character was going to be played by me. We were thinking, well, not we. The man behind the curtain, our director, was thinking I would play the character. But then he also has the love of puppetry, and I was like, well, I could do makeup on myself, but that takes time, like on set. But if we have time, I wouldn't mind making the puppet. So we just show up on set with the puppet, rather than waste time doing makeup on me, doing makeup on myself on set. Especially given the amount of makeup needed. I was like, might as well just make a puppet. So, jump right into it. Just doing some more rolling. Roll it out. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Get those doggies rolling. Not thin enough, that's still too thick. I want to make it nice and thin. I don't want to make it too bulbous. I don't want to add so much clay that this head is way bigger than it needs to be naturally. I want to aim for human size, human scale. It looks like it'll work. Yeah. The character, I believe, will also be wearing a wide brim hat. Or rather, a hat with like a large cap, that is. So I don't need to go too far back on the head. But once again, I want to get good coverage from, like, let's say here to where the ears are at. Like, I want to get good coverage. And then we can add the wig and all that. It's a workout, by the way. Like, this is not soft clay. It is a workout. Like, you have to work this clay to get it soft. You know, it's like how some wax is soft, but you have to like really squeeze it and work out. You know, work it. Work it, girl. Do your thing on the runway. It's gonna be worth it. Like, if this thing works out the way I hope it does, it's gonna be worth it, man. Let's do that. We're gonna build up. We're gonna start building up like the a little bit of musculature. So it's coverage, which we're approaching. We're approaching the near point of, like, I think the coverage is getting there. And now we're gonna slowly go from coverage to actual like detailing. We're not there yet completely, but we're getting there. So, getting the coverage for the front of the neck right here. Like that. Take something like this. Start off with a hint of... Oh man, that was a weird one. Sorry about that. I was like an old man kind of cough. But yeah, here we go. Kind of working this one side like that. Right up to where the ear would be. Then go to the other side too. There's also a bit of an issue where the head is slightly turning from this base. So at some point the base of this, man, let me lift it for Instagram. It's like a curve, like she's looking over one shoulder. So at some point the base doesn't match the rest of the, it isn't correct. It's not like a forward. So we have a cutoff point here. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. There was a Michael's not too far from me that opened, then closed, then opened again, then closed. And when I went there for Halloween like 2 years ago, if not more, I forget when it was open or closed. They had an entire section of just like mannequin heads. Some of them were skulls, some of them were just like plain like gentlemen with like square jaws and everything. I was like, oh man, this is perfect for like, for this kind of work. But I already had this, so I figured I didn't need it. Now I think about it, like, man, I should have bought one of those. They weren't that expensive, and now Michael's isn't nowhere near me. However, I did find out that there's a still a bit of a trip to get to, but not as much as I thought it would be. There is, in fact, a U-Trek not too far from my current location. I don't have to travel deep into the city to get to a U-Trek, which is always nice. Or Blick, whatever you want to call it. Blick, U-Trek. I don't know what the official name is. they merge with Blick, but sometimes the sign still says Utrecht. So I'm not sure like what company overlapped who. You know, who's on top? A little thick, but once again, we're just building up. Right here would be like the collarbone. Right here is where the collarbone more or less meets up. Now I know I need to still do a lot more on either side. I'm going to do a little bit here just to bring the head back, and then I think I'm going to start doing some little bit of detailing around the eyes because I'm impatient like that. Excuse me, sorry. I am hot right now because I'm like, it is a workout. Doing this is a workout, like especially when you have a lamp, a little light next to you. Does that help? That is, it's darker, but I don't know if it helps. Maybe too dark. Instagram looks dark. I'm going to give it a few seconds on my Twitter/YouTube feed. See if that helps with the light off. I'll leave it on. Get that dramatic lighting. Yeah, get me flying. Just gonna flatten this guy out just to add one last layer here, and then I'll stop dropping in some wrinkles around the eyes. Yeah, I labeled this part 1 because this is going to, like, you know, once again, it's going to take a little while to build it up, and then constantly looking back and forth at the reference to try and stay within certain parameters. Spread that out. Spread it up. Spread it out and up. Smear it. Smear it good. There we go. Alright. So this character's gonna look nasty, and it's gonna look nasty with wrinkles and, like, you know, skin, you know, blemishes, but they're also gonna have lots of scars. The scars will probably come, like, last. I want to get the actual face. I want this guy to look weird, and then we'll work on. Those finer details. Well, not really fine details, but those more like elaborate details. The fine details are the actual face. Okay, so we're going to basically just do a whole bunch of thin strands, little thin strands. Like bags upon bags upon bags within the eye. Like that. Doing big bags right now, and then we're going with a tool and really do smaller line details, crow's feet, all that stuff. crow's feet. Really exaggerated crow's feet, I mind you, but still. Hey, Red Spectra, how's it going? Good to see you, Red. Hope life is well. We haven't spoken in a while. For anyone out there watching and you're into retro gaming, and not even just retro gaming, but like unique games that like might have been big in Japan but never made it to America back in the day of like Nintendo and Sega and whatnot, check out Red Spectra over on Instagram. If anything, just to see what he's been playing recently. He likes to make a list of games he's completed. You know, a list of his conquest. We're just roughing out the wrinkles. I'm putting big strips, like thick strips that are way too thick for like how skin wrinkles, and then I'm actually going in there with this tool and just carving into it, doing like multiple lines. Where's my small tool? I have a smaller. Where are you? I have a smaller carving tool. Smaller wood tool, which is better than this chungus right here. I got this too. Granted, this is really more for like thin bladed strips, but it'll work. Alright, so we're getting the start of it. Once again, nothing too finely detailed, but we are getting the start of it. This guy was designed with a kind of like a broad, flat nose. So I wonder if I should really lean into that too. Just a little bit of was it Marv? I always forget if it's Marv or Harv, like Harvey or Marv from Sin City. Nothing, not a big, no big. Sorry, I'm stuttering. The nose isn't as big, but it has that flatness to them. So. maybe I should just like have the nose go right into the forehead ridge. Like just like that. Yeah. Once again, kind of like Sin City. Just have it go up and down, straight into it. And in turn, have that spread outward into the eyebrow ridge. Yeah. I think our guy should have a bit of a hook nose. Need to remove a little bit from the underside. There we go. Gotta work on these nostrils. Let's build the forehead. Let's get the forehead and then work our way down the nose. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think it is mauve. Thanks, Red. That's is that Mickey Rooney? Am I thinking of the right name? Mickey Rooney, right? Might be the wrong name. But yeah, Marv was a great character. I never read the books, never read the comics, but as far as the movie goes, Marv was a freaking great character. And I love the line. It's spoken by one of the other characters that says, Marv just had the bad luck of being born in the wrong century. Like if he would, there's something about like if he was like in the Olympic, like if he was like in Greece fighting in a Roman Colosseum or something, they would have thrown women at his feet. He's a man that's like out of his time. Like he just can't fit in normal society. Yeah, it was Mickey Rooney. Yeah. That man made kind of a comeback, right? Because like, I remember my mom telling me about like how he had plastic surgery done and it went wrong-ish, or rather he had too much of it or whatever, and like, he was kind of scarred from that, and he didn't a lot of movies didn't want to hire him after that. But then he did like Iron Man, and then he did he made like a bit of a comeback as like the brute villain, which is kind of cool. At least that's what I hear. Maybe he was in a bunch of movies prior to like Iron Man and stuff, but I just don't remember seeing him that much personally. All right, that's better. Pinch the nose here, flan it there, and it gives it that kind of broken look. Can we beef up the nostrils a bit? Or is that too much? That's a bit too much. Alright, dude, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go online and look at some good references for noses. Either that or get a mirror next to me. There we go. Get that nose ridge back. There we go. I like that. That looks good. It's not perfect to what I'm aiming for, but it's getting there. I have to admit, I like using this because I could turn it back and forth really quick and like double check all my angles. Okay, let's see if we can thin out the lips a little bit on the sides. That looks better. It's a lot better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think giving him like a bit of a... He's supposed to have like a... In the end, he's going to have like a snaggle tooth. So giving him like a lip that's offset makes room for that tooth. With this carving, you could see, now that I'm carving around the lips, you could definitely see the cheekbones developing. So the trick is I'm trying to get it smooth-ish to help define, once again, the main body, the main face, right? And then I'm going to also have to go back in there and like add blemishes and things like that. So like it's a bit of a back and forth between like a finished sculpture and a sculpture that looks nasty. Because the guy's going to look nasty no matter what. But this is coming out nice. I am enjoying this. All the chopping I did here using this is good for like thin lines, but it causes like a chopping effect. So I'm gonna have to like use a different tool to like better define them as wrinkles rather than just cuts. But the cuts does work. Like it breaks it up a bit and softens it up for a bigger tool to come in there and like do some smoothing out. Wet my hand. Just wet it up a bit. I'll probably give him some like cracked lips as well. Not sure if I should give him a slight smile. I have to run that by the head guy, by the head director. What was that? What's going on? Still live, so don't know what that was about. Ah, that's what the issue is. There's a bit of a, it's like a line here, and I'm like, what is that line? And that line is a really angular piece of duct tape that's like sticking through. That is, I just realized that like the video has stopped on my stream. Not my Instagram stream though. Something is wrong. Please stand by. Oh, I think my phone just died. That's why. How embarrassing. How long has that been going on? Holy crap. Yeah, my phone, which is... Oh, that's embarrassing. Sorry for everyone who was like in the stream wondering what the hell was going on. Yep, my phone, aka my my Twitch camera, is dead. That's highly embarrassing. No one tell me, huh? Then again, no one's on the Twitch stream, so. Yeah, I don't know how long that's been like that. Holy shoot. Okay. Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna crinkle up some more clay. Maybe I should start like on the ears. Can't believe that happened. Bad, Dante. And I think is I grabbed the cord and everything to plug it in. It just didn't plug it in. Like I plugged it into the phone, but not into the socket. You gotta tell me these things, people. You've got to tell me in the chat when that happens. Okay. I'm gonna try this again. As I desperately try to type in my password. Don't look, people, don't look. You know that clicking? All that clicking is me trying to get my phone to like actually type. It's time to get a new phone. Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna try and do this again. Please stand by as I reset the camera. Be right back, guys. Oop, hit him in the nose. Huzzah! Huzzah! If I was a cam girl, I would have lost all my watches. I'd be like, oh, where the boobies at? What happened? Okay, that's there. Okay, we are. Oh, we're back. Thank goodness. Sorry about that. Jeez, I'm an idiot. Alright, we're good. Okay, so now we're gonna do an ear. What do ears look like? Ugh. I feel like I should sculpt it like by hand first and then attach it to him, which might be better for me. That's another thing. You need to look up reference for ears, because I know how to simplify an ear for like a drawing in a stupidly simplified way, but we all know ears aren't really that simple, are they? Okay, let me thin this out first. His ear's too thick. Too thick. So I dressed up as Aku one day for Comic-Con. I took out the old Aku helmet. Figured why not. And people love Aku. And there was plenty of people screaming extra thick from like all the way down. Like everyone knows the meme. But I did get a cool interview. This one guy like interviewed me. Like his friend was recording. He was doing the audio. He was like, "Have you done any crime today?" And strange enough, I was actually able to like give some quick witty banter as Aku, which I was like, "Oh, I better make this good." And I'm kind of looking forward to like finding that. I don't know where to find it. They didn't like give me any like. I don't think they gave me a business card. I'm like, someone interviewed me as Aku, asking if Aku had done any crime, and I'm like, I need to find that guy online now. I need to find that edit and see how well I performed. Okay. Okay, we got a basic shape. It looked better a minute ago, trust me. Alright. Put it right about there, and then we're gonna sculpt this sucker back into a more reasonable shape. Let me get the back of it. Gotta get that back of it flattened, or it's gonna fall off. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to bring it in a bit, like that. Flatten it out. Doesn't need to stick out. Doesn't need to stick out that much. I mean, he could have like big floppy ears. That's better. That's better. Ah, it's too high. It's too high up. There we go. Rule of thumb, the top of the ear is at the eye. The bottom of the ear is at the nose. That's like the rule of thumb when you're doing ears. I mean, people have different size ears. Ears stick out at different shapes and different angles. Just look at the guy from Up. But ideally, they're supposed to be like here. And yes, once I have this general shape, I will once again look up some good reference as we go forward in this project. Let's trim the shape down. There we go. Make sure it's nice and flat on the back end. Sure as hell ain't perfect, but no one's perfect. So, trying to remember. I'm actually you don't see it, but I'm actually touching my own ear going, does this do it like this? Yeah, it does it like that. Okay, okay. Just trying to like do a shape like that, I guess. It's a starter shape. So you have that, you have that, you have a little less in here, which is why right here in the back is where you see like the thick part of it, because it hollows out into the head. Okay, that's kind of part of it. As I said, we'll do better detailing later on. Okay. At least it's in the right spot for now. It's all practice, people. You know, I'm sure there's someone out there who's been doing sculpting for years and they're like, oh God, you're doing it the hard way. It's all practice for me. Bear with me. As I drop the clay, you fool, it is not a D.A. Burgos live stream unless I'm dropping the freaking tools. Okay, let's work a little different. Let's put this anchor piece, like the actual part touching the skull. Let's do that first. Right about there. Kind of like a pyramid-esque. It gets wider towards the bottom, gets pointed as it gets closer to the skull. He says, that's what I tell myself. Thank God this thing spins back and forth so easily. Do some divots. The way we learned with this clay was like chop it up, put some water, then attach. Not too much, and it'll slide off. It's like this weird like back and forth of like Make sure the clay isn't so smooth, so when you attach a piece to it, it has like this little roughness to attach to. Okay. Once again, I'm going to kind of try and like pre-shape it. On this side, I ended up trying to pre-shape it, and just ended up carving it off anyway. Do 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 do. I don't know why I have like Fraggle Rock stuck in my head. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Down in Fraggle Rock. Don't ask why. I don't know why. These like repetitive, like little repetitive beats like that help me get through like a project. Sculpting that ear. So again, I'm trying not to go too crazy with the detailing, since I know a lot of this is going to be edited as I go along. Just want to get as much basic shapes. Like this I was happy with. Like this is a fun little wrinkle, but it's still not like a finished product. Like those wrinkles have to be worked in better. Got a bit of a Van Gogh ear going on. Yeah, okay. Like I said, chop, chop, chop. Break it up in the back. A little bit of water on that. And too high. A little lower. Right about there. Okay, right about there. Yeah, I'm going to carve a big chunk of this off as well. Is that too close? No. Oh, he's getting a little front heavy, isn't he? Okay. Yeah, let's carve some of this off. Yeah, I gotta be careful when I spin it. He's kind of going in all kinds of directions now. Okay. Come on, don't fall off. I'm like, come on, buddy. Work with me here. Alright. When I push it back, you see it starts to break there? That is because I didn't rough it up. It needs to like really merge together. Because you can't just work the seams. It has to be attached like inside. Which is why you're supposed to like really rough up the edges on some of these. So you see where the temples are now? Where I did the temples and how they interact with the ear? Scraping away at the inside of the cheeks to once again give it that gaunt kind of look. Oh yeah, that looks good. What time is it? Almost 10? I want to say it's almost 10. The chin is still kind of indented. You can't see it, but it's like right here. Still kind of bothering me. So, if I tilt it back from it, see what I'm doing. Just going to score it. It's called scoring, I believe. Making lines like that. And then adding just a pinch of clay. Fill it out. My God, I'm actually really happy the way this is coming out. It's when I get into the fine detailing, trying to make it look like the drawing, even though the drawing is like, it's a simplified drawing, but you get the idea. I'm just trying to, that's going to be the part that's going to bug me the most. Just trying to get that as close as I can to that freaking concept drawing. Which I like the concept drawing, just, trying to translate it. But that's why we're here, people. This is why we're here. I'm gonna tilt it back. Sorry, people. Don't know if it's still on camera, but I gotta tilt it back. I don't want to have a weird indent in the chin, which will then come to bite me later on when I'm trying to do a mold of it. It has like a little air pocket. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'll probably give him like a really ugly looking Adam's apple and everything when I get down to the bottom of the neck. I always see them do this where they score like the entire thing. I'm never sure why they did it, but it's like I guess it helps as you go along, especially as you're trying to do like natural wrinkles and natural like textures. Doing the pre-scoring kind of helps. Then you smooth it out. Especially with the freaking forehead right here. What's going on here? The idea is you're not really trying to remove, you're just trying to you're trying to kind of blend all your chunks together into one piece. It does help. I can actually see it. It does help. Alright, so as we wind down, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just add enough clay and then smooth it back. The clay that has to definitely be completed is like I want to definitely do a lot on the neck. The neck has to be completely done. But up here, just up to the hairline, because I don't care if this is smooth. This smoothness is fine. He's gonna have a hat. He's gonna have hair. But I need to get to the hairline, but the neck is gonna be exposed. So I gotta definitely cover up the neck, at least as much as I can, which is like right about here. Because you have this freaking, once again, it curves like it's looking off to the side slightly. I would have to like literally mimic this shoulder on Instagram. I don't know if you can see it on Instagram, but it's like a big old shoulder here. I have to mimic this shoulder here just to like even it out. Bit pain in the butt, but if it has to be done, it has to be done. Yeah, so let me just add enough to go. Let me get some more flat pieces, and just add enough to get behind the ears. And that's like the first real major stage of it. Just trying to get all of this in. You guys ever seen the show Face Off? Oh God, I love Face Off. I kind of lost track at a certain point in the series. I'm not sure how many seasons they did or how many seasons they are doing. But I watched it for a good chunk of the first few seasons. I mainly liked it because it's a competition reality show that focuses more on the competition rather than the reality part of it, which is really freaking appreciated. I kind of feel that's why that other show failed. There was another show on Sci-Fi Channel that was all about like special effects, and it was like a family who was kind of zany and they were weird and they did special effects, but I just feel like they focused on the drama of the family more than the actual special effects. Then again, maybe that's not why the show failed. Maybe the show failed because the family was just too much to work with. I don't know. Just really funny, heavy eye, like just those eye ridges, man. That eyebrow ridge. All right, I'm gonna flatten out this piece. Wiggle, 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 and then we're just gonna do connection here, and then I think I'm gonna stop. Cause my back is about to go out on me. Okay. Oop, as I hit all the cameras. Still can't believe the freaking. I have no idea how long that was out for. I was just talking and had no idea how long that camera on a Twitch/YouTube stream was out. Which is a shame because once again, Instagram won't save the video for me. So whatever I got on the Twitch/YouTube stream is what I got. I'm gonna have to remove an entire middle section. Probably won't be a lot anyway, in terms of like progress. Almost there. When I thin this out a bit more. There we go. Nice big flat piece. We'll use. How much do I need? How much do I need? I think more on that side, less on this side. Okay, yeah. We'll use you here. Let me cut that in half. Hiya! Yep, just about. Should I do it this way? I'll do it this way. Okay. Okay. Just move it out nicely. There we go. Top piece needs to be moved a bit. Gotta stand up for this. Again, just kind of Tear it up a little bit. Nice, nice, nice. That is, I think that's the good color off on this. Okay, opposite side. Yep, that seems like a good area. In fact, pre-stretch it a bit. There we go. That looks better. Merge, merge, merge. And we flatten upward. Kind of take it upward. But still smooth it out. There we go. Smooth it out. That looks about right. Gotta look from the top. Yeah, that's good. So all we have left is this actual like arch right here. So let me stand up and do that. Am I in the way of the camera? I don't know. No, my hands are in the way, but I mean that's part of the course. Okay, just about. Whoa, gotta be careful on that spin. If I spin this and it goes face first, it's gonna destroy it. Need to definitely put more clay, like I said, in the back of the neck, around the neck. That'll hopefully even out some of the weight. I'm just trying to wet. I'm trying to wet this last piece. Right? Where am I? Where's my camera? Where's my camera? Right there. This last piece right there. We're gonna put you here. Okay. Okay, so the top of the head, pretty much complete. Like, I think that's as far back as we're gonna go. We'll do a little bit behind the ear. We'll do a little bit behind both ears, and then I'll curve it along the hairline, and that'll be that when I get to that point. But I think right now, I think I'm good, guys. I think we're good. Bit of a technical issue at one point, but in the end, not a bad product. Not a bad product at all. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be doing much of Inktober now, because I'll be focusing on this project. And I'm sorry for anyone who actually was enjoying the Inktober. I'm sorry you won't be able to see me ramble as I draw, but now you can watch me ramble as I sculpt. Spooky, spooky skeletons. Get this ear. There we go. That strong old man curve. Like I said, like the guy from a movie Up. Really angular. Kind of like, what's his name from Gravity Falls? Really angular ears. Grunkle Stan. That's him, Grunkle Stan. I'm sure I've seen someone do like a crossover picture where like Grunkle Stan is doing a Halloween costume as that guy. Like I'm sure I've seen that somewhere. What was the guy's name again from Up? I forget his name. I think the woman's name was Ellie. I think Ellie was his late wife. I think. Can't remember his name now. Just gonna once again do some preemptive scoring on this, so when we get back, it should be ready to go. The idea isn't to remove, it's just to like mark it up to make it easier to, you know, blend it all together. Hit the camera, Dante. Hit the camera. What you have to do, apparently. Yeah. Let's get some good light on this. Ooh, look at that. Move it back. Ugh. The Instagram camera's a bit too close, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on. Pick it up, move it back for the Instagram, guys. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that profile looks really good. From the front, it looks weird, but the profile. Oh, I am loving that profile. Small bits of the sharpness of the jawline. Keeps cracking. Like right here, there's a sharpness in the jawline. Keeps cracking because of the tape and everything. Let me do this real quick. Dip, 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 dip. I'm doing this on the edge of the neck. That way when we add the next layer of clay, it blends into it better. Okay. Now we're done. Woo! That looks good. Alright. Once again, profile. Right about there. Okay, I think we are done for now. Once again, I'm not going to be showing the reference, but I am going to be building it up towards the reference. Hopefully it will look nice in the final product. As I've said before, all this stuff is saved permanently on my YouTube. It is up on Twitch for about a week or so. And even though I try every time to save it onto Instagram, my device says, sorry, cannot do it. At least the device I'm using. I'm not using my phone for this. I'm using a tablet. And the tablet always says, please try again. Please try again. Please try again. Until finally the word please try again freezes on the screen and just stays there. But yes, thank you for joining. Once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.